if you say what you want to say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I want to see you be brave with what you want to say and let the words fall.
Hello. Hi. My name is Angela Leigh Tucker, and in 2008, my husband and I were driving home from a Yankees baseball game, and an 18-wheeler on the other side of the median jackknifed over a concrete wall and crashed into us. 6 weeks later, I awoke at Westchester Medical Center and learned that my husband was killed in the crash. We would have celebrated our 1-year wedding anniversary while I was in the coma. He's a hard-working guardian angel now. So how many of us in here were told that you wouldn't live? Lots of hands. When my mother arrived to Westchester Medical, they told her to never expect me to walk or talk again. I had injuries to every part of my brain. The list is long, so I'm going to read it. I had a left frontal hemorrhage, a right parietal contusion, a bilateral subneuracroid hemorrhage, a bifrontal hemorrhagic contusion, an intraventricular hemorrhage. A Glasgow Coma Scale measures the severity of an acute brain injury and ranges from 3 is the lowest possible score up to 15. I scored a 3. Physical injuries were healing too. I had 3 fractured ribs, a C1 vertebrae fracture. I've been told that's some Christopher Reeve shit. And I had a left scapular fracture. I had to relearn everything from the cradle on, as we did. How to walk, talk, read, and write. 6 years post-injury, I can tell you that I still see signs of improvement, and I know you both do too.
Yeah.
So we collectively share to never give up, that we're always healing, we're always improving. And this is whether you have a brain injury or not, you're always improving and healing. So I'm going to read a piece of a book that was written about my healing journey. And the last chapter I wrote, I'm just going to read a selection. There is a hard-working guardian angel who makes this journey bearable, and there isn't a day that goes by that I haven't felt rich at my side. There's occasionally a subtle sensation of knowing I'm not alone in a room when standing there by myself. When someone loses a person they love, that loss is clear, and there is something tangible to grieve. In many ways, it's easier to grieve a death than it is to lose a part of yourself. The reality is, I've lost more than a young husband, a career, and a lifestyle. I'd venture a guess that this loss of self is the most upsetting loss for most of us traumatic brain injury survivors. We're all trying to figure out how to live as a different person. How do we accept our new selves and gain the acceptance of others as this new person? We've lost so much of who we were and are approaching our lives as if on training wheels. And yet, these losses do not have to mean the end of the world. I quickly broke the habit of referring to myself in the past tense, or the old me, because I didn't like how this sounded or felt. Returning to the old me would be like taking steps backwards anyway, so I began focusing on the new me. Here's my unsolicited advice to traumatic brain injury survivors. Don't idly sit back and watch your recovery pass you by. Yes, there are paid professionals who work with you and provide you with their expertise, but this is only the beginning of your rehabilitation. The real benefit of their labor begins when you commit to doing whatever homework the professionals and therapists recommend. I have a chart of exercises I need to complete daily. I've wondered why my recovery seems to be going so well, and I thought it was maybe the type or location of my brain injury. But my former occupational therapist told me that my injuries are significant and not localized. The real payoff is coming because I do what I'm told. Sure, there are days when I have to force myself to exercise, when I'd rather take a nap. But there's an internal flame, or a guardian angel, who gives me reason to work hard. The benefits are becoming obvious, and the daily improvements is very fulfilling. I want you to experience this recovery too. for it's within every survivor's reach. I encourage you to organize and be an active player on your recovery team. To anyone who's ever been a patient, a survivor, I urge you to take time to thank those who helped you. I refer to these doctors, nurses, paramedics, therapists, psychologists, support groups, family, and friends as my recovery team, and I make a point of telling them how valuable their contribution is. That is especially true of your professional medical therapy team. The nurse on Life Flight, Jenna Canavan, told me, "Thank you so much. It's miracles like you that make our job worth every moment." More often than not, those moments include low salaries, long hours, and poor equipment, and difficult client personalities. Many members of my recovery team are greatly underpaid and highly overworked. Be the reason they continue their work. Inspire them to be the miracles that make our lives worth living, literally. I believe in the power of affirmations. Many of you might not venture a guess at the end of my story. The risk of spoiling the surprise, let me tell you the end. I have very clear affirmations about the direction of my life. Number 1, I will become an effective advocate for traumatic brain injury survivors and their families. I think that's happening now. Number 2, I will sing again. And number 3, I will find the second love of my life. I'm 6 years post-injury and I still see signs of improvement. Does everyone know what an affirmation is? An affirmation is an action or process of affirming something, focusing on positive outcomes. I'd like to give everyone in this room one of those affirmations. There is no such thing as failure, only a change in plans. There is no such thing as failure, only a change in plans. Some of my strategies that I've found very helpful and continue to find helpful is alarms and timers that help keep this organized, this group all in time and in the flow. I have a very full calendar, I'm blessed, and my iPhone is my external memory chip, and I set alarms in it each day, and right now I believe there are about 15 alarms. Yeah, I think so. So I find this to be a very helpful strategy. Distractibility is real tough for me, so if I set an alarm, I typically snooze the alarm, and it reminds me again in 10 minutes, oh yeah, I should be downstairs presenting, or oh yeah, I should be eating. So I find that distractibility is one of my challenges, and audio reminders I find are very helpful for me. And prayer and meditation is so key to my recovery. I've created, make photocopies, they're in the back for you guys if you're interested. It's from brainline.org, a wonderful website resource for we survivors. And the article is about the role of mindfulness, meditation, and prayer after brain injury. I have a prayer partner. We pray 5 days a week. Haven't prayed yet. He was in a meeting. So I can't tell you the positivity and learning how to use affirmations and create affirmations and through the practice of prayer and meditation. It's such an important part of my recovery, and I invite you to consider how mindfulness and meditation and deep breathing techniques might be helpful for you. Do we have a self-plug real quick? I have a website too, and you can visit my website for additional video blogs and articles. It's AngelaLeighTucker.com. That's ANGELA, Leigh, LEIGH, Tucker, TUCKER.com. That's another resource.